you want to start creating more content. However, you don't feel like you have enough time because you have a full-time job, well, keep watching. The idea for this video came from listening to one of Gary Vee's, well, his latest book, Day Trading Attention. And one of the things that he was talking about, he was giving different types of things you could do to create content. Pretty much just saying like, hey, you don't have to create all the content yourself. Here are different ways. And I want to just piggyback on some of the stuff that he said, and I want to add my own twist on it because I have a full-time job, and I know sometimes it can feel like overwhelming, and you can feel like, hey, I don't feel like I have time. I don't think I have time. Like, what should I be doing? And then that's one of the things that sometimes, as a full-time employee, it could be a little difficult, and it could be a little overwhelming trying to record content, trying to do stuff for your channel, and then at the same time just feeling like, where did the time go? Do I have time? Did I not have time? Like, could I make this work? Could I not make this work? Maybe this is not for me. So I just want to give you some input. I just want to give you some ideas, and hopefully it will work. And hopefully if it does work for you, put it in the comments below if you took any of the ideas. One of the things that we could talk about is the actual fact that lately, I have been trying to record content in different areas because even though I like the talking head videos, I think it's pretty cool just to go to a different spot and just, for example, like just show something different in the background. It doesn't exactly always have to be the exact same thing. And I think sometimes we overthink that. Like for me, like, oh, the shot has to be perfect. And like, well, it used to be the old mindset. Like, oh, the shot has to be perfect. Like I have to either get this type of content here because it just has to be, I don't know, that background has to be perfect. Oh, the quality has to be really good. And even though those things do help, I do think sometimes, just maybe going out, changing the scenery a little bit could bring new ideas. All right, so that's tip number one. Change the scenery if you feel like it. I literally just pulled up. I park in a garage, and I'm just parking over here recording the content. So that could be something that can help you. One of the things that I think will help you when recording content could be the concept of the green screen commentary. And basically what that is you can just look at an article, or you can look at a video that somebody did. You record it yourself, you go into CapCut, you remove the background, you insert your video in the article or the video that you were commenting on, and that could be a great piece of content. Now, the good thing about this is you don't really have to think about the content that you're gonna create because you already have the person that created the content. You're just adding on to it and just giving your 2 cents into what your thoughts are on that video or that subject or the topic. So you can create this, and you can just pretty much, like, if you take like 10 minutes and you go into different subjects and different niches that you do like or stuff that you're into, and then just pick up a different article, or you can just look at a video on TikTok or Instagram, something that you believe that you have some input, or that you can give it your input just to make it better, and you can create your piece of content around that. And like I said, you're not creating the content yourself, you're just commenting on the piece of content that somebody else created. Also, something that you could do and add on to this is you could just DM the creator of the actual original piece of content and just be like, hey man, I hope you don't mind, I created a video around this, like, let me know your thoughts. And who knows, maybe they like the content, maybe they like the video that you did, and they'll share it in the story, get a different audience in your story as well. The next tip that I have for you is batch creating content. Like, you hear it all the time, like batch create. And I think that is one of the easiest ways, if you have a full-time job, that you can create content for you and just have it stored. So on your days off, all you have to do is go in and edit it. And I don't think a lot of people take this into consideration, because even though we hear it a bunch of times, like, you have actually put it into action yourself. So I can see how that can be like a little intimidating, especially in the beginning if you've never done it. However, I think batch creating content is definitely something that we overlook sometimes, myself included, because we feel like, oh, I have the same type of clothes in that video, or I have the same type of, like, the same hat, or like I have this or I have that, and people are gonna think like I'm batch creating, or at least that's what I used to think. And honestly, I don't think people really care that much. They just care, one, about the content that you have to provide for them, and two, they care about the stuff that you're putting out for them to watch. And if they like you, if your content is good enough, I don't think they really care that it's batch created. Like, I don't think that's such a big deal. So batch creating content, especially if you have a full-time job, I think is really good, and it's something that you should not overlook. All right, the next tip that I have for you is repurposing your content. What does that mean? This full video that I'm gonna record right now for YouTube, I can cut it up, I can run it through Opus Clip, and then I can cut up little short pieces of things that I have said throughout this video that I can later on repurpose on Instagram, TikTok, wherever I like, YouTube Shorts. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, we hear it all the time too. For example, like Gary Vee talks about, one of the things that you could do is record like a long form podcast with people that that somebody in the same industry or people that have some type of input, and then take shorts from that podcast, and then you can cut it up, little short clips, and then you can repurpose them on your Instagram, your TikTok, wherever. And that is also like helping you so much save time, especially if you have a full-time job, because you're not having to create new pieces of content. Like let's say something comes up where you have to go to work that day or something, and even though you were supposed to be scheduled, now you have to go to work. At least you have a piece of content that you can just put, just upload it, and you're saving yourself time, saving yourself like the hassle of having to record new content all the time, and it's going to help you stay relevant on your social media platforms. All right, the last tip that I have for you is behind the scenes. Now, behind the scenes of what you do could be, for example, if you have a full-time job, you can talk about your full-time job, the things that you do. You can grab your phone, record a little bit, record whatever you do throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, you can, from that piece of content that you had, that video that you had from the behind the scenes, you can just record, get a mic or your phone, just record yourself taking the audience through the parts of the video that you're recording and just giving your input, just giving your thoughts on that, or what was going through your mind when that was going. For example, if you're going into work, all you have to do is just like record you going to work, or just show like a little bit of what you do at work, and then after that, you can just talk over it like, oh, I was going into work on a Monday, and then after that, let's say the next shot is you're having Subway for lunch, and then the next shot could be like, I was having Subway, I really like this sandwich that I got there, it was really good, blah, blah, this is what I got. And then the next shot could be you working from home and just working on your business and just talking over that. So a little behind the scenes, I think, goes a long way, and especially if you have a full-time job, I think it would be really easy for you to get content for your social media platforms if you just do it behind the scenes and then just do a mic over it. All right, so those are all the tips that I have for you today. If you like the video, if you like the content, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, give me a subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. If you like any of the tips, if you think you can actually are going to apply them to what you are currently doing, I would love to know. All right, hope you like the video. Hope you have a good one. Bye.